Oh, it's backwards. Totally, it's totally backwards.
Okay.
Oh shit!
Well, there's only one person, and that's me. So
One of
far.
us
So
might be wrong. We can wait. They can. Holy fuck! I'm a pathetic Spider-Man. There we go. All right, let's
there we
go.
go. Yeah.
All right, happy friggin' Halloween.
Boy, I'm getting more and more likes on that. Just on that post from Vulcan.
Yes.
Yeah, both on Twitter and on my Facebook.
Oh, I think we're live now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. We've been live for a couple minutes now. Minute and 20.
There's an echo. Oh Jesus! I'm glad I'm not naked. I mean, maybe that would get more views. Probably not.
Well.
Oh. So, Rod,
Yeah.
let's talk. Let's talk. Hi. How are you?
Oh man, I'm fantastic. I got stuck up north, and my company was nice enough. They flew a helicopter.
You know what? It's better to be stuck up north than to be stuck up south.
Oh,
Just saying. Not
oh
that I've
man.
ever been. Not that I've ever.
Yeah. Yeah,
No, but
that's true.
how did you? I mean, was it cold? I mean, holy shit! You're alive, obviously.
No, actually, no, it was actually surprisingly warm. In fact, the highway was completely like, pavement was, I mean, there was snow in the ditch, but like, in fact,
Bear.
there was, you know, mind you, I was like right stuck in some muskeg, so like, bluff, you know,
Well, there's a lot of people here that don't know what muskeg is, although
yeah,
they've probably dated some.
yeah, yeah.
Muskeg is
I'm coming to
what?
you
What?
live from my sleeper.
Ooh, really? Are you actually en route right now?
I'm actually in between days right now because I'm on my time off.
Are you coming to us live from your truck?
Yep.
Whoa! Yeah, nice,
Yeah.
cool. Uh, do
Here.
you? I mean, is it true what they say about truckers and hookers? Or maybe
Can you
that's an
see?
yeah. Okay, we'll ask that question later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, totally. So do you, okay. Now, is it cold?
No, no, it's actually only 3 degrees out here. It's still pretty, still pretty.
Only 3 degrees. 3 degrees is cold, motherfucker.
Well,
Okay.
for some people, but I mean, like,
Three
muscle heats it.
degrees is pretty cold.
Muscle heats itself more efficiently.
It does, man. And the more you jack yourself, totally warms up the cab. So that's
Hail
yeah.
Rancor Steve. Hail Suzanne. Hail DJ Play Nice. How you doing, guys?
Hey, Rancor Steve. Hey, DJ Play Nice. Oh man, he's one of the guys. DJ Play Nice, definitely, and as well, Rancor Steve.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so Rod, let's get into the deep conversations.
sure.
Um, is the U.S. election rigged? The
I think
British Columbia election that you just saw took a week to count the votes. I mean, I'm sorry. If you're going to take a week, more time means more time to cheat. Am I wrong?
you're not wrong. And here's another
More
thing. Hey, man, you're
time to
hey,
count them out. Means
Hey,
more
and your
time to do it.
yeah, and hey, your province just elected the same assholes that they elected a
Okay,
little while ago.
man. Socialist high. Socialist people, I have a problem with you. I have a conversation that needs to be had involving a baseball bat and several fishing lures.
Well, I
I
look at it all the way around because, like, my
like
parents. Don't forget,
what?
my parents. My dad was Swedish, so
Holy shit!
and of course, yeah, and actually,
Wow,
he was actually the first
you're half
generation.
Swedish.
No, no, well, I'm also adopted.
Well, that so it doesn't explain your massive size.
Well, you could probably blame that all on the milk, on because it was a dairy farm, and by far though, without kind of bragging, but I'm bragging.
Go ahead, bud.
I'm
Go,
the large
go.
I'm the largest of my three brothers. Four
Yeah,
brothers, I should say.
I've met Rod. He's fucking large
Yeah,
in person. You're a large man.
yeah.
I don't want to meet you in prison. No.
We'd probably still be pals.
We'd you fucking still be pals and we'd beat up all the other guys.
There you go. Yeah, yeah. You'd beat up the small guys, and I'd throw away the crowds.
Oh, I punch up. I punch up, buddy. I punch up. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, that's awesome. And okay. So, what's tonight's stream about? Is it about conspiracy theories? Do you have some government conspiracy theories?
a little bit of
I mean,
both, actually. I
just
sent you.
shout out to Rancor Steve. We covered
Yes,
this earlier, and this was not related. Like I didn't even know that this was the topic before we did this.
yeah.
Like
I
this
saw
is
that
totally
Rancor. I
unrelated.
didn't get. I wanted to, and I'm going to tune into it later, or well, on the way back,
You
or,
should.
or
Oh,
wherever
that's
my.
a lot
Yeah,
of naked titties, and it's fucking awesome. Yeah.
yeah,
Shout out to Mike or Steve.
yeah.
No, but we want to talk about alleged conspiracy. So, have you heard about British Columbia? Okay, British Columbia. Uh, we just had an election 2 days ago. It finalized 2 days ago. It actually took place a week ago. I have a problem with an election that doesn't happen in one day. I'm sorry. It needs to happen in one day. And Rod, what's your thought on that?
My thinking is this: your land is unceded. Technically, it all belongs to the indigenous. Your land, the mountains, do not belong. They are not listed under the British North America Act. That means that, again, technically, uh, you guys are all on our land. Were you aware of that? It sounds like you weren't.
This could get much bigger. I was just talking about. You understand how like when people. I mean, okay, but I was talking about the elections.
No, I know. I'm sorry. I just wanted to bring that point up, though. Like I thought, few
Well, I
people
mean,
know
do you want to
realize
go?
that.
I mean, okay, but if we never came here, you'd still be in teepees with no electricity or running water. Is that what?
We were just fine before you guys came.
So you
You
don't
know,
want electricity and running water. You want to go back to what? Because you're not living that way.
I didn't say that, but I mean, on the other side of the coin,
So
I
you
will
don't
say,
appreciate
I will
electricity,
say, I
running
will say
water.
though that I just came from an indigenous pipe ceremony. The very weekend after I buried my mother.
It's
So
gotten very deep, very fast. Okay. Oh,
yeah,
please. How was that Indigenous pipe ceremony? How were you invited? And can anyone go?
Uh, it depends if it's an open ceremony or if it's a closed ceremony. This one was technically closed, but
Okay.
me and my friends, I say my friends because because both Lisa and my friend Dusty have been to previous pipe ceremonies, and they made such an impression on the elders that they were just told, yeah, you can come back whenever,
Yeah.
So
Okay. That's
and
good.
yeah,
That's good. We are not paying attention to the chat at all, and it's on fire.
yeah. Oh,
But
thanks.
we're having fun. This conversation is too good. Please keep going, Rod. Fuck the chat.
Yeah.
Please keep going. Fuck the chat.
Sorry, Chad.
We'll
Please,
get back
like
to you.
he's
This is more important.
he's
We'll get back to the chat.
okay.
Please go
Okay.
ahead.
Yeah.
Please
No.
continue.
Anyway, an indigenous pipe ceremony. It's a pipe healing ceremony. It's really the
Is it
longer term for it.
tobacco
Yes,
or marijuana?
it's actual tobacco, but I mean, like, it's not. I mean, like, it's not mixed with peyote or anything like that. So if that's what you're wondering, no,
No marijuana? No.
no, no, just plain old regular everyday tobacco. As a matter of fact, really
I
good tobacco too. By the way, the best tobacco
okay.
I've ever tasted. Wow.
Well, because you can, like, I hope it's homegrown. Like, you guys need to grow that yourselves, right? Like,
Yes.
fuck the government.
Yeah.
Fuck the
Oh
government.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Please continue.
Yeah. Yeah. So hey, Miskatonic Madman. Uh,
Oh, wait,
uh,
we'll get back to that. I
mm,
want to focus on you.
yeah. So anyway, getting back to the pipe ceremony is actually a lot of people would call it kind of freaky. I mean, because like how church is like, it's like, is there a light, like there's kind of like, is there a heaven, is there an
Like,
afterlife, is there, it's
okay,
like they're always wondering, even though they're kind of sort of like,
pick
well,
me up.
Jesus and like, God, and like, God took the form of Jesus and and all that, and then but like they still kind of half question whether there's an afterlife. I say half question because like they're like whereas well, we don't question. We've always known, always. And the whole point behind a pipe healing ceremony,
Wait,
healing pipe
wait.
ceremony, is
What's your? Sorry, clarify that. You
yeah,
believe in afterlife?
of course.
You think that there's more after this?
I know there is.
Okay, okay. So question. I don't. I think that this is all we have. So does that
Okay.
mean that I value life more than you do because this is all I have?
Mm,
Because this is all I have, buddy. After this, there's nothing.
well,
Do
uh,
you not value this life because you know there's something else? I guess is the
mm,
question.
well, it's like Marcus Aurelius says.
Ooh,
Um,
yes.
um, those who die soonest and those who live the longest both lose the same thing. For the present is all they can give up, and what you do not have, you cannot lose. I'm sorry,
Wow.
that's really deep. At the moment, you know.
Well, wait.
My point, my point being is that live the best life you can while it's happening. I mean, Alan Watts said that there is no past,
Yep,
there is no
I
future.
agree with that.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
there is no past, there is no future. There's only now, and in an eternal now happening
Eternal
now.
Mao? I think Mao is Chinese.
No, no, no. I said there's no future. There's no past. There's only an eternal now.
Oh, Eternal Mao. Yes.
Yeah,
And hello to holy
yeah.
shit, we have
Hey,
such a
DVB
DVB, Suzanne, everybody is in here.
and Stark. How you doing,
Yes.
Tony? Good to see you, man.
Well, Stark probably has some opinions on this. DVB, if you have opinions, you know what? I'm gonna just throw this in the chat. Fuck it. Let everybody, anyone who wants in DVB. This is good conversation.
Yeah. So
So
anyway,
Rod,
getting
where
back to
did
my,
you continue? Let's get back to the
let me
basics.
finish the pipe ceremony first. Let
Oh,
me tell
please.
you what happens during the pipe ceremony.
I'll
Okay,
shut up.
because thanks. Thanks. No, see, okay, you've probably noticed, seen time and time again in indigenous ceremonies, we're always drum hitting the drums. You know, doom, 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 right? The whole reason why is because when you're using drums, the other side hears it, and they come to visit. And so, just to first of all speed up what happens during a pipe ceremony. There's food, there's bannock, there's all kinds of stuff, and basically it all the food is handed out, and you're given two plates, well, sort of dishes, really small cups, and you take one, and one of them, what you're supposed to do is you're actually supposed to take a piece of each of the food that you were given. You take a little bit of the food and you put it into one of the cups, and you keep that cup aside, and then later you you put it into they all come around these scarapios. That's what they're called, the helpers. They come in. They're the ones who handed out all the food, and then they collect they collect those each little bits of food that you put food and tea and everything that you put, and then you put it into an even bigger container, because the whole reason behind those, that is offerings for the spirits who are on the other side, because they can't, they don't, they can't bring their food with them, so the offerings is for them. And
But
after all the
do they
food is done,
sacrifice their own needs for that offering? Like, is that a
it's just a
that's an important
little bit.
offering?
Like you just take a little tear off a little tiny bit of the bannock, and a little bit of every little bit that you've offered. Oh, and here's another thing, by the way. When you're
And
given a gift, when you're given something, it's very sacred. It's considered very sacred in my
culture, I would say
culture. Yeah. See, yeah, thank you. um, because
cultural
um, I know
anthropologist. Hi.
I know some people say like, something given uh, something given has no value. No, you're wrong, because the whole point behind it is we didn't when you give something, there is inherent energy in something that is passed on from me to you. And that's because I'm giving this with you with intention. My brain, my all the energy that I put preparing this or making this, or even if I just bought it off the shelf and then turned around and then handed it to you, there's something inherent, because when I bought it, it was meant for me, and then I either couldn't have it, or just felt, you know what, I don't need this right now, and then I hand it on to somebody else. And what happens is there's energy attached to that when it and energy and intent attached to
Yes,
that when I give it to somebody else.
yes, that's
Yeah,
right.
which yeah. Yeah, thanks DVP. Yeah, Rod gets it, the eternal now. Yes, yeah, yeah. Alan Watts, good man. Anyway, now, once the food happens, I mean, all the smokers go outside, and then, well, not only that, you take a bit of a bathroom break,
Well,
because
smokers.
the next part is going to be very, very long, and that is this. Okay, and then everybody takes a bathroom break, smoke break, whatever, and then all the smokers have to suffer for the next several hours with and because here's what they do: they take an elder, and there's a couple ways they do this, actually, but they take a piece of burlap, and they wrap the elder up. Well, actually, first they tie him up. I'm not kidding. They tie him up, like,
Him or
and
her.
yeah, they tie him up, and then they
Call
roll
it
him up
him
and they kind of roll him up in burlap,
or
kind of like a smoke, you might say, and then they tie it up so that he can't escape. And the reason why is because well, see, then the chanting starts, the drumming starts, and between the chanting and the drumming, what happens is other spirits passed on spirits, they come back and they actually possess his body. And he speaks, by the way, in a totally different voice. So it's not you. It's not him. And I know a lot of people say, "Oh, that's yeah, witchcraft, whatever." We've done this for thousands of years. We've done this before Christ, even. We've been this is a very, very old ceremony, and there's only three elders in Western Canada who do this. By the way,
I was going to ask. That must, because it's so old, it must be very protected.
yes, it is. Even some of
Whatchamacallit.
it, yes, and Cliff, the elder
Hi,
who
citizen.
held this.
Hi. If you keep knocking your microphone, please mute. Hi, citizen. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
I'm
he
trying
said,
to
yeah,
interrupt you, Rod. Keep
yeah,
going.
yeah.
You're flowing.
No,
Yeah.
keep going, Rod.
Yeah. Anyway, as I said, they bind him up, then they wrap him up in a, well, similar to a smoke, or sometimes he will still be bound, and then they will put him into kind of a cocoon made of branches. Like they heat up the branches, and then they heat up the branches, and then they tie them up and make them into something of a cocoon, and then they actually take all of the prints, which are offerings from each and every person who attends the ceremony. I have never missed taking the prints, by the way.
That's
And then what happens is the prints are they put them up on the cocoon, you might say, and what they again, though, because those are all given, that's again all the inherent energy from everybody that's participating. And what happens is the energy that is attached, that helps the elder in his travels, because technically he's not present when during the actual ceremony. His spirit actually leaves his body, and then what happens is the Muslims, that's what they're called. Muslims are
hopefully
dead or passed on elders, and they possess his body, and they pass out advice. I know it sounds, it sounds kind of corny. Some would say, but it's I mean, I'll say this, and like I've been to ceremonies. In fact, the last one I was at, they actually spoke directly to certain members of the audience, which was good, because like this was actually directly for them. It was for a family, and they spoke to them directly and told them things that they didn't know. And I mean, anybody else onlooker would be just absolutely shocked, and sometimes even they were. Well, no, they but I mean, it's the old, or it's they tell you the truth. They don't tell you what you want to hear, and
really
yeah.
okay.
And there's all these different Muslims that wind up possessing him, his body, and the Scorpios,
You're a
the
girl like
helpers,
that.
yeah, the Scorpios, they're again, they also help, because often the spirits speak in past languages, in Cree or
Had any interactions
yeah,
with spirits, Tony, Rod, and Tony.
right.
Have you? Is that a normal thing to have interaction with spirits with the native culture?
That's half the reason why we do drums. Why what the drums and the chanting is all about.
What?
Yep.
What do drums have to? Whoa, okay.
Because the drums,
What do drums have
the
to?
drums excite and bring the spirits from the other
The
side.
vibrations.
Yeah,
Whoa.
you got it. Yeah,
Man, why didn't my anthropology professor in university explain that?
because you guys were more interested in giving us electricity and iron horses and other things such as that.
But that worked out pretty. I mean, you don't want to give that up. So that's, I guess it's a good trade.
Well, on the other side of the coin, the other elder told us, do not go to. How did he put it? I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think now. Do not go to modern medicine, like the medicine that he has.
Do not take the jab. Fuck to the no.
Yeah. There, see,
no.
See, you know that much, right? You know, and then like,
we're gonna get deleted off YouTube for this.
I've said this time and time again. By the way, do not take chemotherapy. Do not.
No, absolutely not. Do not take chemotherapy. You know what? We've seen a lot of evidence. Change your diet, change your exercise, and that actually, if you kill the food, and what is it? Cancer survives on glucose and carbohydrates. So if you only eat protein, you're literally killing cancer. So you've heard. I'm gonna put on a mask for this because YouTube was gonna fucking kill me for this. Rod, have you heard of this? Like, if you kill the food to cancer, it can't eat. So, and they cannot eat proteins. So, if you cut carbohydrates and sugars, you're gonna kill your cancer. And I know two people personally that are older than me, actually, and not as healthy.
That's a big part of it. Yes.
They're not, and this worked.
See, what happens is cancer lives. Look, I am not a doctor. I am not a medical professional in any way whatsoever.
We can give medical advice because I'll never be monetized. So fuck you, YouTube. We can give as much medical advice as we want. YouTube can suck a dick.
You know what? I'm gonna just simply offer what I'm
in a mask. What are they gonna do? Come and find me.
I'm just gonna say what I know has worked for me.
I'm waiting and I'm ready. Come on.
Thank you, Suzanne. Yes, exactly. Chemotherapy. Oh yeah, it's Stark of Irons, and like, yeah, why keto works? Exactly.
Yes, the keto. Yeah. Keto is exactly the key because cancer it feeds on glucose and carbohydrates, but not proteins. However,
excessive sugar.
The human body is designed to work on proteins and fats and oils, and cancer is not.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't involve expensive pharmaceuticals. That doesn't involve expensive cancer treatments.
No.
So,
hey, and by the way, here's one more thing. By the way, anybody, this is a safety thing for anybody out there. Anybody who's going on chemo? First of all, obviously tell them to get off it. Secondly, the other thing is tell them to approach their doctor and ask for alternatives.
Yes.
Make sure you bang on their skull and you say, you give me an alternative. You give me something else.
If you starve the cancer, if you cut the sugars and the carbohydrates, the cancer has no food. Stick to protein, the cancer cannot live.
I'm not a doctor,
but I'm giving medical advice. Try and fucking sue me.
Yeah. So anyway, I just want to finish up on the pipe ceremony. See, and again, it's a dangerous thing. I mean, like, he's losing. His spirit is losing. Like, he's losing his spirit. He's given up his spirit. And see, and that's the whole reason why his body is bound. The reason why his body is bound is because, well, when somebody comes from the other side and then they possess a body, they might just get tempted to, well, return. And if they possess a body and manage to get out of the ceremony, they might just be able to, well, possess his body, and he can't come back if somebody else is already in it.
Ooh.
So that's the
Ooh.
whole reason why he's bound and why his body is kept tight and
Huh.
and he is unallowed to walk around or that's why all he can do is really just speak. But most Muslims who have passed understand and respect the ceremony for what it is. Now, after all that is said and done, and a lot of times too, there's even if it's an open ceremony, which like if there's people allowed to come, right? You can actually ask them anything, and I mean anything. Just to give you just as an aside, you can give them. My Mama Sam, my Nana in Tennessee, um, I asked, she died a couple years ago, and during one of these pipe
Sorry,
ceremonies,
dude.
I asked the Muslim, how is my Mama Sam? And I didn't give him any clues or anything about. I just,
Spade.
how I asked, how is my Mama Sam? And he, it was staggering because he said, ah, yes, they are all right. Now, wouldn't you find that a rather strange question or a strange answer?
A, a strange statement. Yes.
Yes. You know why? Here's
Definitely a
here's
strange
here's
statement.
well, no. I know why. As soon as he said that to
Thanks,
me, I was
Tom.
like,
I
as soon as he
appreciate
said that to me, I was like, "Oh my god." I just almost started crying. I was like, "Wow." And like because he said that, I knew, well, yeah, he was all right. See, my nana, she's actually a special medical case because a psychiatric case she was
True,
actually
Tony.
because she was actually possessed, or not. Sorry, why am I saying
What do you
possessed?
mean? She was
No,
possessed by
s-
demons?
no. Sorry, no. Apologies. I don't. I'm no the term.
Possessed by some spirit or something?
No. She
Thanks for joining, Citizen 33.
um MPD
Spidey.
MPD. Well,
Puzzle.
she didn't think she didn't she said, no, I don't suffer from it, I just am it, which is MPD, which is multiple personality disorder. Now
Oh.
she recognizes that
I might have one of those.
they changed the definition of MPD, multiple personality disorder, and they called it DID, dissociative identity disorder, which
Oh,
he didn't like that because it to her felt like it was kind of not quite
real
not
thing?
not quite not quite saying the I mean it just was. I mean, MPD was basically just more accurate. you know she once described herself as her mind is like a hotel, and whenever she is talking, it's like she is the personality down at the concierge desk. But
Okay.
Yikes.
there are times when other people from other parts of the hotel come down and possess. I mean, she her
Maintenance.
most her most common other was named Sid, SYD. And her Sid had no Sid had like she sounded completely different from Mama Sam. Mama Sam had a southern belle accent, and Mama Sam was gifted. She was very intuitive. She could talk to you, and she barely even. In fact, all I had to do was mention the name of one of my friends, and then she could tell me all about them without even talking to them. And anyway, um, as I said, she had at least three personalities. She even had a little girl that I actually taught, little 8-year-old girl, and like her voice completely changes every time so anyway, getting back to my point, the whole thing is that she suffered from MPD, multiple personality disorder, and that is why the scrop or the Scropio, the translator, really, That's why he said they are all right, because they were talking about all of her other personalities at the same time. Schizophrenic is close, DJ Play Nice, close, but I mean, schizophrenic is different from multiple personality disorder. I can't begin to describe it. Whereas like multiple personality disorder is exactly that. There are multiple personalities inside the brain, inside the mind. Anyway, but like, you know, that's where I was just kind of like, well, you know, I mean, again, they tell you things that, again, a lot of times you don't. Sometimes you don't want to hear it, you know. But I mean, like, they'll only tell you the truth, you know. Another example was the very first pipe ceremony that I was ever been at. There was a guy sitting beside me, and I was about to speak up, and then all of a sudden he did, and he said that he was a real estate agent, even though he was native. He was a real estate agent, and he started talking about about the land and certain lots that he was trying to sell, and um, and then this really worked up the Muslim, and in fact, this particular Muslim he goes by the name Macho Raven. Yeah, each one of them they have really good, really funny sense of humor. They're actually pretty funny. Anyway, he was so pissed off that he actually just dressed that guy down, and that guy just after all that, he just shut up and just completely, okay, I'm not gonna, you know, I won't. And and it's like he was just ashamed, and then all of a sudden, ultimately, Macho Raven tried to talk. Why aren't you talking? You know, you're not answering me back. You know, and then like which is a sign of disrespect too, because he was not, you know. And then ultimately, Macho Raven left the ceremony, and then, but that, I mean, just because one Muslim leaves doesn't mean there aren't many others, which there are. You know, which is the whole point. But again, the whole thing behind the drumming and the chanting and the ringing of the chimes and all that is because, again, that rhythmic sequence, it brings out the spirits from the other side. And again,
so there is a
like
point
voodoo is
to the
similar,
drumming
yes,
and the tones.
mm-hmm, absolutely, yeah. So
rhythmic drumming can attract spirits for sure. Yeah.
yes, and don't fool yourself. You know, fool yourself, gang. You know, when you're at a rock band and you're hearing and there's like a major drum solo or anything, there are spirits. And they're not mad or anything. They love it. I mean, they love drum because to them drumming is just like it's magic to them because it's brought them there. It's brought them from the other side to here. They love it. You know, it's
See,
you
the
know,
problem, I never understood why people were afraid of ghosts. Because if a ghost comes and kills you, then you become a ghost. And then you can go and fuck that ghost up!
That's the thing.
Right?
That's the thing, though. Ghosts can't
Right?
kill you. Ghosts can't kill
Like,
you. They
come
just like
on!
freak you
Yeah,
out.
you do
You
it,
know?
and I'm coming after you.
yeah.
Right?
Anyway, the ceremony
I ain't afraid of
finishes.
no ghosts.
Anyway, the ceremony finishes with basically the reverse of that. You know, like a lot of drumming, a lot of chanting, a lot of chimes, and man, my jangles, things being rang, and then as a result, what happens is it summons back the original elder, and the Muslims leave him, and then and then the elder returns, and then gives his final blessing to everybody, and then depends. Sometimes the pipe is handed around before, sometimes the pipe is handed around after. But
Speaking of
then,
pipes,
yep, yeah, like an actual, like, I mean, like, like, the long, the long pipe. Yeah. All right,
I
Stark.
said
Have a good
speaking of
night.
pipes because I was taking a toke.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't mind me.
Yeah. No,
No,
Go on.
no, it's
gathered
yeah,
we gathered that. Yeah.
yeah.
Good night,
So
Tony.
yeah. So anyway, but that's that. That's the whole. That's basically the pipe ceremony. There's that's mostly everything in a nutshell. Um, but it's a highly spiritual ceremony, and like as far as I'm concerned, like for me, that's church. You know, and it's far deeper than church, really. I mean, like this isn't this is direct communication from to the other side.
To nature,
Unlike a priest
directly
who would,
through nature. Yeah,
yeah,
I get what you're saying. Yeah, makes
yeah,
sense to me.
yeah. Whereas, like I said, church, I mean, like you pray and you hope that they hear you on the other side, but I mean, like that's just it because they don't know the tools. You've got to have drums, you've got to have chanting, you've got to have the rings,
Power.
yeah, and then as I said, because then you know that the other side is listening to you. Whereas like prayer. I mean, I'm not saying prayers are useless, not in no way whatsoever, not at all. I'm just saying that in our experience, it just works better with because we've done it for thousands of years. Yeah. But yeah, that's generally and like the ceremony, the we have, and then also with the ceremonies too, uh, we the elders also have medicines that we don't have in the real world. You know, like the kind of things that, like, I mean, there's a hair remedy that
Spiritual
I've been,
medicine. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
I get
actual stuff.
I get exactly what you're saying, man.
Yes,
Absolutely, I'm
exactly.
following.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the pipe ceremony there, Spidey.
Nice. And see, I always okay. That's a misconception. I always assumed that there would be some sort of Mary Jane involved, but
Nope,
not so much. Yeah. Okay.
nope, nope, and we don't touch the peyote unless it's just simply a private thing. But
Yeah. Hello and hello. Hey, molecular
hey,
arts. Good
hey,
to see
molecular
you,
arts.
and thank
Molecular
you for being
arts?
here.
No way.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yep,
molecular arts. Like
he's
me and
here as well.
molecular arts go way back.
Uh,
So it's
so,
good to see
Citizen
molecular arts.
333, welcome.
Yeah, welcome,
Welcome,
Citizen
Thank
three
you,
three three.
Spuddy. Thank
and
you.
and
Cool. Thanks
please,
for the
I
invite.
mean,
Glad to hang out with you
it's
for a
been
bit.
a while, so please tell us what you've been up to.
Well, yesterday or 2 days ago, a tree fell in my yard and missed my pool house, and
Nice,
I had to have some friends come out and chop it up with a chainsaw because I'm not really
nice.
handy with a chainsaw, and now I have to chop it all up. And I already started yesterday. I've been chopping wood all day yesterday and today. So that's my
That's
life
awesome.
story.
But did you enjoy it? I mean, did you have some music playing and you can?
No, I kind of suck because the tree fell where it shouldn't have, but I felt lucky because it didn't fall across the power lines, you know, where I would have
Or
no,
on your
because I,
pool house?
right, because I have well water and my well is run on electricity, and had the tree fallen on the power lines, I'd have no water, no electricity, and can't leave the house. So I feel lucky, and yeah, I'm just chopping wood and feeling good about life and thankful,
Man, that's awesome.
that things aren't worse than they could have been.
Freaking nice, Citizen. Yeah, that's awesome. Good on you. Yeah, no, good for you to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And you know how to pour water in the top of the toilet tank, so it flushes. So even if you don't
Oh
have
yeah.
power, at least you have the water you can
Oh
flush
yeah,
it.
Yeah, and
yeah. Just
it's
take a.
not like I'm like it sounds like I might be rich because I have a pool, but it's not like that. It's not a like nice pool or anything,
I
you
grew up
know.
with a pool. Yeah,
Hmm.
when I was in
But it's a water reservoir at least, you know.
nice, nice.
Well,
And,
we had a pond that was only about a half a mile away, and when we were kids, we had this giant wooden horse tank. That it'd fill with water and like
just for Trojan horses.
for no just no for regular horses because remember this is a farm so um but yeah, no, like as kids, we'd play in it, and then ultimately when we got older and well too big for the horse tank, again we graduated to the pond, which was like about a half a mile away.
Well, those are like 4 feet deep. The horse tank.
Yeah,
It's all metal, right?
no, actually it was
Hmm.
wooden, wine casks.
Ooh,
Like it was huge.
okay. Nice.
Yeah. So,
Awesome. So we're all doing good. That's good news.
Doing
yeah,
well,
We're all
and
okay.
I'm
We're alive
excited about
around the same at
Halloween.
the same time. So that's cool stuff.
Would you guys believe that I've never ever gone as Spider-Man on Halloween?
I,
Well, you have to
um,
now. Now you have to.
yeah,
No, I've never gone as Spider-Man on Halloween, and I never will
I've gone as Superman, but
because that's not a costume.
hmm.
I'm regular Spider-Man. I
Okay.
wouldn't. That's
No, no,
not
no.
a
I'm sorry.
fucking
I'm not
costume.
laughing at that.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Oh,
oh, why didn't I realize
I
that? Yeah, of course.
actually believe I'm Spider-Man, so I
Yeah.
wouldn't go on
Well,
Halloween
you are Spider
as
Man from Canada.
fucking right. I'm Spider-Man. So no, I wouldn't go. No, I always have like a different costume for Halloween. Yeah. I think this. Ooh, I'll show you.
Yes. Anytime, Spidey.
This is my costume.
Ah, nice. Awesome.
Remember.
Remember the 5th of November, the gunpowder, treason, and plot.
Yeah,
I
we're gonna
remember when
fuck some shit up, and we have a lot of ammunition.
I know with no reason why the gunpowder treason should ever be forgot.
November
That's
5th,
fucking
folks.
awesome.
November 5th.
Hey, actually, that's not very far away.
No, that's
Actually,
the
yeah,
20th.
that's like next Tuesday.
I know. Yeah, I'm wearing this all Tuesday.
Nice.
I'm gonna fuck some shit up. Hey,
Everything's gonna
Trudeau.
be okay.
Trudeau, I'm coming for you.
So
I,
wait, does
I
Canada
challenge
have
It
their
might have
Trudeau
been
elections on
Suzanne,
November
but
5th too?
to Mortal
again, it was a horse
Kombat.
tank. We watered the horse. We used to water the horses with. But
So, do you guys have an election too on November 5th
No, well,
in Canada?
maybe. I
well, you
mean,
see,
our government is
wait,
soon to be disposed of. Yes.
yeah. Well, you see, unlike you guys just go every 4 years, right? Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it happens the way we do it up here in Canada is that our leader, our nefarious leader, uh, he is supposed to call an election. Now he can call it any time. In fact, he can even call it like even a few days after he gets elected. Well, I mean
True.
that would make a lot of sense. But the point is that you know he can call it anywhere within the first. any time within the 4 years that he was elected. So, and which also makes for interesting times in terms of our voting times are not regular like you guys are. And then also another thing is that we always do just pencil and paper. We don't use computers.
We have
We don't use
Sharpies. No,
we don't.
BC use Sharpies now, so you can't erase the pencil. British Columbia elections just use Sharpies.
Huh. Oh no, we here in Alberta we actually still use pencil and paper.
So you have a paper trail.
But you can erase the pencil.
Yeah.
Yep. That's really more vote tampering, and honestly, I mean, that would be a really hard one to.
Yeah, you'd have to do that for 1,000 votes. That's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, see, that's what I say. That would be really hard to
But Sharpie's better because you can't.
I don't disagree with that one, but I mean, not just you guys had an election, but also our guys on the other side. Our guys on the other side of us also had an election. I don't know if you noticed that.
No,
yeah, apparently Trump and Kamala are running or something.
No. Our guys on the other side. I'm talking Saskatchewan.
Oh, and New Brunswick. New Brunswick went all liberal. I grew up in New Brunswick. Fuck you, New Brunswick.
I'm talking about.
That's why I will never move back to New Brunswick.
I'm talking about that great big flat place in Canada that nobody knows about, and that is Saskatchewan. They just had an election. Saskatchewan just had an election.
What's the capital city of Saskatchewan?
Send someone to fetch us. We're in Saskatchewan.
Regina.
Regina smells like it sounds. It's true. That's the thing that they say about Saskatchewan.
Oh, and by the way, Citizen 333. Another thing too, by the way, is that our elections take a maximum of 62 days.
For vote counting or just the election process itself?
From the day that the election is announced to up to 62
Tommy
days.
Robertson is in jail. No. Tommy Robinson is a patriotic hero. There's no way he needs to be jailed.
Huh.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking. Isn't he a British guy who
He is a British guy, and
he was fighting against grooming gangs.
Yes,
grooming gangs.
That's all he wanted. He just wanted to stop grooming of young kids.
Holy crap!
And he gets jailed. Wow.
That guy's a fighter.
That is Tommy. I have full support for Tommy Robinson. He's no crime of making this video exposing the corruption of mainstream media. Oh my! They made a mistake doing that. You're gonna jail Tommy Robinson. You're making enemies of most English people. Whoa, and most logical people. Oh, you just made an enemy of me. Hi, England. Fuck you. I'm now your enemy. I'm on guard. Fuck you. Tommy Robinson is a fucking hero, and he's defending children. And anyone that's against that, you just made me an enemy. Fuck you, England. Now I'm on guard. Fuck you. Oh, yeah. Let's get political. All right. Hey, YouTube, fuck you. Tommy Robinson is a fucking hero. He's a fucking hero.
Yeah. He's one of those guys
Suzanne, Suzanne, Alberta is conservative. We elected honestly, I didn't fully agree because I don't honestly I don't like conservatives. As far as I'm concerned, conservatives are just rich pricks who want to make themselves richer. Sorry.
Oh, you're not wrong. George W. Bush was a fucking conservative. He
They're
sucks.
all in the
You know.
same boat.
Yeah, it's
By the
like
way, were you?
two wings, like left wing, right wing, but same bird. Pretty much. There's like
That's
that.
it. Left wing, right wing, same bird.
There's
Did,
controllers above that bird, and it's the people we
more than you
don't
know.
see or
Did you know that
know
the?
who they are. You know.
Did you know that George Bush Senior was head of the Fed?
No, PvP, he's
He
gonna
was
have a
in the
lot more people
CIA. I know that.
protecting
Yeah.
him than against him.
The Fed.
And if I
The
fucking need to go to prison in England to protect him, fuck me, I'll do it. I'll fucking do
George
it.
George Bush George Bush Senior was head of the Federal Reserve.
Well, that's not surprising.
In fact, there's a famous video. I've actually shared this a number of times. I should probably share it again. Jeffrey Tambor. He appeared on a little-known
Jeffrey
not
Tambor.
Canadian. He appeared on a sitcom, Barney Miller. It was a cop show,
He sure did.
and yeah, and he talked about the United Nations, and he was smashing up a United Nations office, and they were just kind of like, well, what was he doing? He was like, well, he smashed a globe. He was trashing their office, and then he happened to mention United Nations. No, yeah, United Nations, and then like he mentioned another charitable thing, and then anyway, look it up. Look up. Yeah, look the trilateral office. Trilateral. Yeah, the
Trilateral
trilateral.
Commission.
Yeah, trilateral commission. He was
Yeah,
smashing
I
up
know
the
exactly what
trilateral
you're talking
commission.
about. Yeah.
Yeah. Hail Outlaw Bill. Yeah, and
Hell. Hell.
yeah. No, Suzanne, I'm sorry. I'm just not a big fan of because conservatives, for me, are just a bunch of just a bunch of rich pricks, who
I
want to make
hate both
themselves richer.
sides equally.
Yeah.
No, but I'm
Yeah.
conservative, Rod, and I'm far from rich, I assure you.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand. That's fine.
Conservative after.
I don't like either side of the political spectrum personally because they're both fucked up.
No.
They both serve the same master, which is
Yep.
ultimate evil. I mean, you can't really put a name on it other than if you're religious, Satan maybe, but
Well,
other than that, what else? It's just ultimate evil. It's like the nothing from Never Ending Story. It's just
So
darkness,
who would
evil.
you?
well, as
I
the
mean,
saying goes, governments do not govern; they merely control the machinery of government, being they themselves controlled by the hidden hand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Yes.
see,
Mhm.
exactly, PvP. The liberals, I mean, you're talking the Laurentian elites, and
Like Trump, Kamala, they're like on the same team. Like,
You're
and
right,
that's hard
Suzanne.
for a lot of. That's a lot like hard for a lot of Americans to wrap their heads around. But they are on the same team, like WWF. Like we
Mhm.
act like we're
that's
enemies on
because they're
in the
retarded.
wrestling ring.
You're
But
retarded. If you vote for the NDP, you're retarded. You don't understand how economics work. There's no free money.
Mm.
There's not a supply of endless money. If you vote
Yeah, but
NDP,
don't you want free? Don't you want free healthcare? I mean, wasn't
it's
that
not.
one of the?
It's not free. It's not free.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah, it
government
is.
cannot do
It's
it
paid
more
by our
efficiently.
taxes. That's the whole point behind taxes. The whole reason why we have taxes is
I
because
don't want to pay for other people that jam junk food in their face and
yeah,
don't exercise, Rod. And you and I are paying for those fat, lazy fucks right now through
mm,
healthcare. You
mm,
work out. I work
healthcare is
out.
not.
I
Mm,
have friends that are fat, lazy fucks that are taking advantage of the healthcare system, and they didn't take care of themselves. And, oh, please help me. I need medication. Well, you
Yeah, but the
fucking
whole point
should have
behind
thought of that when you were feeding your face full of French fries and never
I'm
exercised.
I'm
I'm
perfectly
sorry.
Spidey.
happy
I
with
don't want
my
to pay for
I'm
them not
perfectly happy
taking
with
care of
my
their bodies. No,
I'm perfectly happy with my taxes paying for somebody to have their baby, you know,
no, nope, nope.
or to take care of themselves when they get injured, when somebody breaks a
No, let's
leg, or
come.
when
Okay.
somebody is working, or and bus
Yes,
if there's a car accident, or something
sure.
like that. I'm perfectly fine with that,
Great.
and why did we
But
develop
not
health
if they
care?
stuff their face full of French fries every year of their life and they didn't take care of their bodies, and you and I are paying for their
I'm
lack
not
of
referring to
fucking
people like that.
but that's most people in healthcare.
Is it?
Most people in
Is it?
health, yes.
Besides
I
that,
want
here
you to
in
cite some
America too.
statistics
Yeah.
on that one before you really wade into there.
Are most Canadians unhealthy because of their diet?
I don't disagree with that, but I
Yes.
mean,
Yes.
I don't want to pay for lazy fuckers
Americans too.
that shove French fries in their face. I'm sorry. I'm not going to pay for that. You should have done sit ups. You should have done push ups. I'm sorry. I'm not paying for that. Fuck you.
You know
yeah,
what?
but most
Hell, wait. I gotta say something real quick because you're making a great point, Spidey. And health is like happiness. It's
You're goddamn right.
everyone, each and every individual's own responsibility to create that for themselves. You
I'm
know.
not paying for you to be fucking lazy cunts shoving donuts in your fucking face. I'm not paying for that. Yeah, you're sick and you're unhealthy. Fucking surprise! Surprise, surprise! I'm not paying for that. Fuck
go.
you.
Again, Spidey. I don't disagree with you, but by the same token, I'm actually waiting for you to back that up with some actual statistics, rather than just simply saying that your few friends are really heavy and
You
Listen,
don't.
I get it, but I mean, like,
No, you don't think
listen.
that
Here's
most
the other
Canadians
thing
aren't
too. My brother, the one
exercising
you
enough?
met, Spidey, my brother, the one you met, right? He's in between two hernia operations.
Mm-hmm.
He's floating around in medical limbo because you know, and
All the resources are taken
I,
up by the fat fucks that can't exercise and can't
mm,
control their diet. He needs help,
no, it's actually
but the
no. The
resources are
resources,
taken from fat fucks that can't control their fucking eating habits.
no, actually, the resources are taken by the fact that there's nobody in the hospitals to operate it. Doctors are already overworked as it is.
Because they
The
fired a
whole
lot of people because they didn't get the fucking jab.
no,
We
that's
lost a
not it
third of
either.
our medical staff because they didn't get the jab.
Jab free here. Just saying.
Fucking jab free.
Mm, I've had it twice, but I mean, like on the other side of the coin, that was at the time. At the time, I was taking care of my mom, and
Of course. But we
you know,
did lose medical staff that didn't return because of the jab requirements. I mean, that's a fact.
mhm. No, I don't
So
disagree with you on that
that's
one.
why
I'm totally, in
we're
fact, as I said,
down
I've come around on that, and that's really more because, I mean, again, and I have switched sides on the trucker convoy too, because I wasn't completely thrilled with the some of the again. I'm sorry, but they're really
Trump and Pierre.
big, heavy suckers. Uh, the guys who really, honestly, in my mind, didn't really set a good example for like people who would be truckers, you know, and
Oh,
you know.
really? Is there a. Oh, okay. There's
But
some
I will
stuff
say though
there.
that I admire that the whole sense of freedom and everything that they were fighting for. You know, and I get it, and then like I don't know if you were paying attention to what happened down on the Coots border crossing down in Alberta here, but the trucker convoy down there, the police found, if you read my air quotes there, found guns in one of the trucks, and that they were searching, and it made absolutely no sense for them to for the it made no sense for the for the truckers to be running around carrying guns like at the border, and in something
No.
that was literally nothing but a peaceful protest.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's where
Mostly peaceful
I
process.
totally see, I totally disagree with them with that.
So Citizen 333, what's gonna happen in America in 6 days? 7 days.
I'm guessing Trump's going to get it in, and it's going to be more like 4 more years of half the country hating on him and setting him up for shit. But he's not innocent either. I'm not a Trump fan.
No,
But
Thank
it's
you.
just
no,
Thank you.
it's just
I
gonna be
hope
more of the
he
same shit
wins,
though.
but
Where
he says
they
some stupid shit.
obsess over him. They obsess over him. Man.
Um,
Like, oh, he's Hitler. Oh, this and that. He's not Hitler. Yeah, he's not a good
He's
dude.
not
But
it.
I mean,
No,
they
but he's
exaggerate
already
his
been
hyperbole,
he's
in.
not the brightest bulb, but
He's
Right.
already been in power. He didn't kill everybody when he was already president.
Yeah.
I mean, at least he could finish a sentence unlike Joe Biden. I mean,
Well, and he's not part of the deep state. He's not part of the
Mhm.
deep state.
Yeah.
or at least he portrays himself like that. I mean, I don't trust him.
Well,
I don't like him necessarily, but I don't hate him either. I'm not like one of those TDS
he
people,
says some pretty stupid shit, but so do I, to be fair.
Yeah, we all do. Like anyone who's real, pretty much, right?
Exactly.
We all fuck up from one time
Yeah,
or another.
and I think he's not controlled by the WEF. You know what? I want Canada, Rod,
Mhm.
between me and you. But and I know, Rod. Let's have a conversation on this in future streams. I want Canada to get out of the NATO. I want Canada to get out of the WEF. I want Canada to get out of every international organization we are a part of. Fuck that. Fuck it all. Get out. Get out all. Canada should be the richest nation on earth. We've got everything. We literally have everything, except for California girls.
I'll bet you didn't know this. Have you ever heard it? Did you know there was actually a proposal for a while there in the mid 90s, and this was actually in response to Quebec saying, "Oh, we want our own country. Oh, we want our own freedom," and right? Yeah. Well, did you know that there was a Western democratic movement that would be the four Western provinces, BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan. I'm not sure if Manitoba was part of it or not, but I think it might have been. But I know that the Yukon, was also part of it. But get this, it was also going to include Washington, Oregon, and California. And there was a proposal, and we were actually going to wanted to become our own separate country. And in fact, the name even floated around was Cascadia. And
yes, and I think that's because Western Canada is tired and sick and tired of giving money to New Brunswick, PEI, to Newfoundland, to Nova Scotia.
This was Quebec especially, really,
and Quebec. I lived in those provinces.
Well, this
they
was
just suck. They suck up.
Well, this was Now this was the late '90s, not like this was like in the, and I believe, as much as I hate him, it was a floatable idea. I kind of, all right, goddamn, Ralph Klein. He was the one who actually, he was one of the major proponents of this. I believe there was only one meeting, but then like nothing else, nothing ever became of it after. But there was, for a limited time, Western Canada and Western United States, and the other reason why is because it would also be the most. On paper, it would have been the most powerful country in the world because we'd have the economies of California, and California could pretty much be their own country. In fact, California, their population equals Canada right there.
Well, I think isn't California one of the top? Like, it could be its own country as far as
Number 3.
That's right.
How much money it makes, as far as exports.
Yeah, but that's only because of Hollywood.
Yeah, and actually,
but it's agriculture too. Like, it's the bread belt of America. It's like everything's grown there: fruits, vegetables, everything.
Yeah, and actually too that it was actually a part of Mexico, if I understand correctly.
Mm-hmm. Take California.
Yeah, that's partly why it's called the Republic of California.
Anyway, hey folks, we are approaching. Holy shit! It's 2 a.m. Rod, I've got to get up and go hunting tomorrow morning. Oh my God.
You know what? Actually, I do too. Well, I got to get up and work.
Yeah,
I got to go hunting. Listen, hey, thanks for popping in, Citizen 333.
So you guys are gonna go hunting for wabbits?
I'm not. No, I'm at work. Well, in between work, So
yes, PvP, and that's Tommy Robinson. Tommy Robinson supported that shit. Absolutely, and I want to support those people, and I believe that. Trump and Polyev are a winning combo. You're goddamn right, Suzanne. All right, folks.
Yeah.
On behalf of Citizen,
before you
Citizen,
please
go ahead.
Thanks for having me on, Spidey, Rod.
Yeah,
you guys, it's great talking with you for a bit.
Good to see you, man. Yeah,
hope to do it again sometime in the future.
Yeah,
but
you bet.
It's been a pleasure.
I'm glad to have you here.
Yeah, pleasure. Yeah,
and thanks everyone for being here, and anyone that disagrees with us. Good night, folks. Thanks. Hey, Suzanne, Miskatonic.
Thanks, Suzanne. Yeah.
PvP. Good night, everybody.
Right.
Yeah, we're
good night. Good night.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, it's okay. Oh, there's some. Is this one? What? It is a big one.
Want a photo?
Okay.
Photo time.